Complete story of Algrim, Earth 616. Algrim the Strong was one of the Dark Elves of the extra-dimensional realm of Svartalfheim who served the Dark Elves' ruler, Malekith the Accursed. He was one of the largest and strongest of his kind. Malekith captured Lorelei, an Asgardian woman who had used a magical potion to make the Asgardian thunder god Thor fall deeply in love with her. To rescue Lorelei, Thor went to the English Cotswolds, where stood the fairy castle that serves as a nexus between Earth and the other dimensional fairy realm of Svartalfheim. Thor broke through into the world of fairy, and seeing Lorelei menaced by Malekith, became oblivious to everything else. Hence, he was easily ambushed by the superhumanly strong Algrim, who stood in shadow wearing ebony armor. Malekith had told Algrim he had chosen him to defeat Thor. But while Thor and Algrim fought each other, Malekith ordered that a pitfall be opened beneath their feet. Thor and Algrim fell down a great chasm towards a lake of molten lava. Thor summoned his magic hammer Mjolnir, which carried him to safety, but Algrim plunged into the magma. The magma's tremendous heat left Algrim on the brink of death. He would have been killed outright except that his enchanted armor protected him from the magma's full effects, and that his desire for vengeance on Thor gave him the will to live. In fact, the intense pain the magma caused him rendered Algrim amnesiac, not remembering the real reason why he fell into the lava. He knew only that Thor was somehow to blame. Algrim's hatred of Thor was sensed by the incredibly powerful Beyonder who had come to Earth to investigate the nature of desire. Intrigued, the Beyonder decided, as an experiment, to restore Algrim to health, give him vastly greater strength and remodel his armor, and then see what Algrim would do. Somehow sensing that he would find Thor in New York City, Algrim, now transformed into the being called Kurs, passed from Svartalfheim to Earth and began walking across the ocean bottom to get to New York. In New York City, Kurs mistook Beta Ray Bill for Thor and attacked him. Bill escaped death at the far stronger Kurs's hands by reverting to his original, non-superpowered form, in which he no longer resembled Thor. Driven by insane hatred, Kurs wreaked havoc in Manhattan as he searched for Thor. In the process he severely injured Margaret Power, mother of the superhuman children known as Power Pack. Power Pack sought out Kurs and succeeded in burying him alive by causing the collapse of a building under construction. Mrs. Power has since recovered. But Kurs succeeded in freeing himself that very same day, found Thor, and attacked him. Kurs was now stronger than Thor, so Thor donned his belt of strength, which doubled his strength. The observing Beyonder then vastly increased Kurs' strength so that it again greatly surpassed Thor's. Beta Ray Bill and Power Pack then arrived to join the battle. Thor used his hammer to project intensive heat at Kurs. The heat, reminding Kurs of the lava pit, reawakened his memories of how he came to fall into it. At last Kurs realized that it was not Thor but Malekith who was responsible, and his hatred therefore shifted from Thor to Malekith. On Thor's instructions, Energize, a member of Power Pack, absorbed energy from both Thor's and Beta Ray Bill's enchanted hammers and then fired a tremendously powerful ball of energy at Kurs, which rendered him unconscious. Thor then suggested to the Beyonder that Kurs be transported to Hel, the realm ruled by the Asgardian death goddess Hela, to search for Malekith, who might be there. Thor was also hoping that Kurs would cause trouble for Hela while he was there. The Beyonder agreed, and teleported Kurs to Hel. Kurs, the being formerly known as Algrim, saw through Malekith's disguise when he reached Asgard City. Kurz then broke Malkitha's neck, apparently slaying him. Years later, Malkith was revealed to be alive once again. Malkith was believed to be killed by Kurz. Thor discovers that the Balder that was killed was really Malkith in disguise, and that it was Loki they placed in the dungeon. Kurz wreaked havoc in Hell looking for Malkith, who was not there, and Hela had Kurz driven into Asgard itself. Malkith impersonated Lorelei and tricked the thing to drink some mead and then convinced him that it was Thor and Sif that killed her. He went on a rampage against them both, but overcame it when he tried to kill Sif and could not because it's not in his nature. Malkith realized that he must send someone else after them, his old allies Kurz in Asgard. Kurz beat his way past Heimdall, and plunged all the way down to Hell, where he demanded Malkith. Hela tried to stop him but to no avail, and he beat her easily, becoming the new master of Hell. Lorelei told him that Malkith escaped to Earth, and he took her there. Once there, Kurz saw Thor as Malkith and begins to attack him. As the new master of Hell and Niflheim, Kurz called forth dead monsters to destroy the one he believed to be Malkith. Thor and Sif battle Kurz's monsters, until they are joined by High Evolutionary and the God Pack. But they are still not making much progress, and Thor is swallowed by Hormungand. With the help of the Asgardians and the God Pack, Thor manages to free himself and start turning the tide again. Elsewhere, Jane sees Lorelei running away and follows her, and sees her change to Malkith. Jane saw Sif and goes to tell her what she saw, only to have a building fall on them. Hela arrived and proved her power by stopping them all. She revealed the entirety of Malkitha's plan, and made Kurz see Thor instead of Malkith. Hela orders her minions to find Malkith, but Thor told her no. She agreed to return them all to Hell, if Thor went with her. He agreed and made the Asgardians and God Pack swear to not attempt a rescue. Fortunately, the newly arrived Hulk has made no such promise. Hulk agreed to enter Hell and return with Thor. On Earth, Raija realizes that Jane is really Malkith, and he fills in the rest of his escape story, then fled. He thought he's eluded them, but he can never escape Kurz. Kurz beat on him mercilessly, until he is stopped by Sif, who begs him to return Malkith to Hell in exchange for Thor's freedom. In Hell, Hulk and Thor continue their battle, destroying much of Hela's kingdom, until Kurz arrived with Malkith. Kurz was being taken by the Asgardian Heimdall to the latter's great hall. When Malkith regained the Cask of Ancient Winters and used it on Asgard, he enthralled Kurz to his cause once more, and forced him to attack Thor. Thor managed to free himself from Kurz's hold while Sif engaged Malkith himself. Thor went to find the Gem of Infinite Suns, which had the power to counter the casket's powers, and had Sif lead Malkith away. In Odin's bedchamber, Thor opened Odin's treasures and retrieved the gem. Using its power, Thor freed Asgard from its icy tomb. Thor then slammed the gem into the face of Kurz, freeing him from Malkitha's spell, and used its power to close the Cask of Ancient Winters. When Earth was invaded by Surtur's forces, Odin sent Kurz, Beta Ray Bill and Hercules to the side of the Asgardian forces to provide assistance. While he was uninterested in protecting the Earth, Kurz stood by his allies until Surtur's defeat, which came at the apparent cost of Odin's life. Kurz later attended Odin's funeral, having become fiercely loyal to Asgard. Kurz seemingly perished during the Ragnarok. Similarly to the other victims of Ragnarok, Algrim was brought back to life. He was tracked down by Malkith and captured, being deemed a traitor to his people. He was taken to the Nastrand prison in Niflheim, where he took the place of Lady Waziria, another dark elf who was in turn acting as a proxy for Malekith, and had been serving his sentence.